Welcome to the Seventh Dispensation Podcast. Today we're going to be reading from the Holy Book, the Alpha Quran, and the chapter that we are reading from is called The Word of Thy Lord and Savior. And it says this, right? It is time that we question the world's religion about because someone has to answer for this. It's time that we question the world's religion because someone has to answer about this. We have never questioned the slave master about what it is that they have given us as a religion. In the past 100 years, we have been carrying a heavy burden, the slave master's religion. But the day has come for the truth to set us free. We must turn to God in our resolve to uphold truth against all unbelief. Peace is balance, and life can be governed by this order if we live according to the principles of truth, freedom, justice, and equality. If we live by these principles, we can manifest God in our presence and look at one another with the respect that we would give to God. God is the supreme being. God is a mind state. And it is the mind of God which exalts us into a holy and enlightened being. Now I want to talk about a couple of things real quick. One thing I want to talk about is God. Now when you read the scriptures, right, all of the scriptures say that God is a human being, a man. So we could start with the story of Abraham in the Bible. This is for all you Christians and all you Jews who believe in the Torah and the Bible. It says that Abraham would land on a tent or a cot or land on something in Mamre or wherever he was at. And it said that he looked and he saw three men. This is what the story says in the Bible, in the Torah. He looked and he saw three men walking towards him. Men. So he jumped up and he ran out to meet them. And he said when he got up to the three men, he said, "Hey, would you pass by your servant without granting me a blessing?" And he said, "The only thing that I want from y'all is to come to my house and to have dinner with me and my wife." This was three men. So the three men accept, and they goes to Abraham's house. He tells his wife to cook these three men something to eat. So she cooked them something to eat, and they eat and drink with Abraham. This is when the story now turns to one of the men being God. Because the man told Abraham that he was going to bless him so that one of his children or his descendants would become a powerful nation. And his wife, they say, was in the kitchen and she heard him talking and she began to laugh. And it says that the man asked her, "Why is she laughing?" And Abraham said, "Because she can't even have babies." And he said, "Hey, don't worry about that. She is going to have a child." And then the story becomes God is talking to Abraham. Then when the two men leave Abraham's house. They go to Sodom and Gomorrah. Then the two men become angels in the Bible and in the Torah. And then when the man who was with Abraham finally leaves, because it say that this man was even walking and talking to Abraham and told Abraham that he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham questioned him and said, hey, would you destroy the righteous along with the wicked? And this is when the man told Abraham, well, go find me one righteous person and I'll spare all of them. And he couldn't find anybody. Remember that story? Now, these were three men. But now these men switched to the title of This is God, talking to Abraham. But the story begins when Abraham saw three men walking down the street. And you can go to every story in that Bible where it talks about God. Every story says that it was a man. So when you go to Jacob, and it says that Jacob wrestled with God, and you hear the preacher saying that at church, but when you read the Bible and the Torah, it says that this was a man. And it says that this man was one of Esau's soldiers who he sent to kill Jacob. And when he caught up with Jacob, they got to wrestling, and Jacob grabbed a hold of him. This when it becomes God, and then he blesses Jacob and changes his name to Israel. But the whole story says that this was a man. And if this is a God, and you sent the God some kind of spook in the sky, then how was he a soldier for Esau? How could God, the spook mystery God who y'all say in the sky, how could he be sent on a mission by Esau to kill his brother Jacob? Because that's what the story says is going on before it gets to the part with Jacob wrestling with God. And you can go all throughout the Bible. Everywhere that in that Bible, in that Torah where it talks about God, before it says the word God, it says that this is a man. And then when you look at the acts that's taking place before it gets up to God, it is the acts of a human being. Even Jesus, when you get to the story of Jesus, right? It says that Jesus went and met with somebody named Elijah and Moses. When he was with his disciples, he left for a minute and he went, and it says that he went and met with Elijah and Moses. And it tells you what happened when he met with Elijah and Moses. It says that he had a conversation with Elijah, and Elijah told him that Judas was going to betray him, and that he had already betrayed him, that Judas had went and accepted some money to turn Jesus over to his enemies. It also told him that he was going to be captured by his enemies and that they were going to hang him. But Elijah told him, don't worry about it. We're going to come and get you down and we're going to save you, right? And this is why when Jesus was hanging on that cross for 3 hours, he cried out, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? So when you say, well, okay, well, how did he forsake Jesus? Because when he told Jesus that he was going to be captured by his enemies and that they were going to hang him, but not to worry, they were going to come take him down and save him. This is when he met with Elijah. Eli is short for Elijah. Everybody who knows somebody named Elijah, you know that everybody call him Eli. And so when he met with Elijah and he told him that he was going to be captured by his enemies, but not to worry, they were going to come save him. Once he was on that cross for 3 hours, he cried out, Eli, Eli, why have you forsaken me? Why didn't you come and take me down? I've been up here 3 hours. So everywhere in that Bible where it talks about God, if you read the whole story, it's talking about a man. All right, so let me see. We ain't got but 10 seconds left. Let me see. It say, I'll read some more later.